Hello everyone, I'm Frank and welcome to Frank Puzzles, and this is today's challenging level puzzle, and it's called Bewuste Sabotage. I believe that's how you pronounce it, by AQJHS. And here are the rules. We have tessellation rules, where we need to place the digits digits from 1 through 9 in each square and octagonal cell. Cells sharing an edge can't have the same digit. So say this was like a 3 here. That means in the surrounding cells that share an edge with it, which are 8 cells, you cannot have a 3. Each horizontal row and vertical column contains a non-repeating consecutive set of digits in any order. So, for example, you could have something like 4, 7, 3, 6, and 5 here, because that forms a set of consecutive digits, non-repeating consecutive digits in any order, right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is a consecutive set of digits. And that's how tessellation rules work. We also have Dutch flatmates, where every 5 in the grid must have a 1 directly above it or a 9 directly below it. It may have both, but it doesn't need both. So say if you have a 5 here, it must have a 1 above it or a 9 below it, or it could have both. It doesn't need both again, but it needs one of these to be satisfied. And that's how Dutch flatmates work. And finally, the lines are palindromes. That is, their digits read the same in either direction. So this reads the same going this way as it does going this way. And same with this one. This reads the same going this way as it does reading going this way. And those are all the rules. If you like to play along, there's going to be a link in the description. And now, I'm going to get started. Let's go. Okay. I guess let's just mark these as A through whatever. So this is A. We have B here, C here, D here, and these are E. So this is the same one. We have F, G, H. Oh, that's interesting. I, and these are J. Is it? It's not quite the same. Maybe we can do colors. Well, okay. One thing we know is that these are all consecutive. So let's color these then. What do we color them? Oh, this is interesting. So there's guaranteed 5 here. 5 either has to be in B or in J. Right? Because it's either 5 has a 9 below it or 5 has a 1 above it. So 5 is guaranteed to be one of these two. So if this is 5 here, it has a 1 above it, and the rest are 2, 3, and 4. If this is 5, it has a 9 below it, and this is 6, 7, 8. So if this is 5, this becomes... So we have 5 here, then that makes that 1. Ah, but that does not work. If this is 5 and 1, this has to be 5 and 1, and that does not form a set of consecutive digits, right? 1 is 1, 2, and 3, so this cannot be the 5 then. So there's no 5 here. This cannot be 1. So this has to be 5 here, which makes that 5, and this must be 9. So that must be 9 here. This cannot be 9 here. This 5 needs a 1 above it, so that's 1. So this is 5, 9. This has to be 6, 7, and 8. So this is 6, 7, and 8 here. This is 6, 7, and 8 here. This cannot be 6, 7, and 8 because it shares an edge with all of these. So this is 1 through 5, and it could be 9. I is also 6, 7, or 8 because this has to be 6, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 here. This is 5. It could be with 4. It could be 3, 4, 4, 6, or 6, 7, eventually. So those are the possibilities there. F. This is 6, 7, and 8, which means this could be 9, or it could be 5 through 8. Okay. We're guaranteed a 5 here somewhere. So this can never be 1. So this is 2 through 9 here, technically. Obviously, this can't be 9 here. This can't be 5 here. So E could be 2 through 9. Oh, we have a 3 through 9 here. So this cannot be 2 here. This is 3 through 8. 3 through 8 here. E could be any of these. This is never a 1. So you cannot have 1 on F, C, or D. It could be 2 through 9 again. Oh, we have... Okay, so that's another thing. So okay, so we have... Let's start coloring. Okay, this we're going to make green. This will make red. And I guess we'll make this blue. Anyways, this is green and blue, and this is the last of 6, 7, 8, because it must match this. So this has to be the red 6, 7, 8. This can't be blue or green, so this is the red 6, 7, 8. This can't be blue, so it has to be the green 6, 7, 8, which forces this to be the blue 6, 7, 8. So those are all the same. Okay. This cannot be red or green 6, 7, 8. This can't be red, green, or blue 6, 7, 8. So this can't be 6, 7 because we have the blue here, this is red, and that's green. And they all are sharing an edge or share a column with this cell. So that's 3 or 4, which means this can never be 7. This is 3, 4, or 6 here. F, so we have the remaining digits in row 4 are 3, 4, and 5. So F must be 3, 4, or 5. This can't be 5 because of 5 in the column. This C cannot be 6, 7, or 8 because it sees red, green, and blue here. We can remove G. So we can remove G, A, B, and I. So F is the same. C sees all of 6, 7, 8, so it cannot be 6, 7, 8. So C has to be 2 through 5 or 9. So no 6, 7, 8. D sees only red and yellow or green. E sees green and red also. This is 3, 4, 5. Okay, so the problem with this being 9 is you have to have green and blue also there. I guess it could be. No, D sees red here, it sees blue here, and it sees green here. So D cannot be 6, 7, 8. So it's 2, 3, 4, 5, and 9. But again, these cannot be 9 anymore because you have to have all 6, 7, and 8s also here to form a 5-length Ren band. So neither of these can be 9. Therefore, this is 2, 3, 4, 5. Also, so one of these is 2, guaranteed. Because we have a 2, 3, 4, 5 quadruplet in column 6. Which means this cannot be 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 6, therefore this is 4. So it's 4, 5, 6. So blue and green are not 6. Red has to be 6. Greens are not 6. And blues are not 6. This has to be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this can't be 6, 7, 8, 9. It cannot be 2 because one of these is 2. So this has to be 3, 4, or 5. Therefore, and 4 cannot be here because of 4 in the column. We have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is either 7, 8, which it cannot be because it's touching both blue and green, or it's 1. So this has to be 1, which means the blue has to be 7. The greens have to be 8. Ooh, that's a fail. This has a 5 without a 1 or a 9. 1 above it or a 9 below it. Huh. How did I mess that up? Huh. That's problematic. Hmm. I think the logic is sound, but no, actually can't be, right? Because I messed up. Okay, let's go back. Hmm. Okay, let's make sure we have this correct. A, B, B, C, C, D, D, E, E, right? F, F, G, G, H, H, I, and J, J. Oh, it doesn't have to be up here. That's the thing. That's why we messed up. Okay. The 5 does not have to be here. It just needs a 5 with a 9 above it or 1 below it. But this cannot be 5 and 1. A5 with a 9 below it does not work. A5 with a 1 above it potentially could work. Okay, so I made things way too simple in this initial one. Okay. Well, that's good to know. Okay. That was a problem. 5 can be anywhere here as long as it has a 1 or 9 above it. And that's where I messed up. Okay. Well, we've proven this can't be 5 and 9 there. I don't know if I like that, but okay. If this is 5 and 9, that actually works. Hmm. Okay. That's interesting, though. Hmm. So there's guaranteed a 5. There's always going to be a 5 in rows 3, 7, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 3 through 7. In rows 3 through 7. Columns 3 through 7 also. So that means there's always going to be a 5 there. Um, The 5 technically could be in A. The 5 can never be in B because you're guaranteed a 1 above it, and therefore this would be 5 and 1 and 5 as a 3-length Renban, which is not possible. So 5 has to be one of these 4. If we just prove 5 and 9 does not work here, because then this becomes... That's kind of convoluted to prove that. Or disprove that. So 5 has to be one of these 3. But we do know that these are 1 through 5 or 5 through 9. That is interesting. Same with this, right? This is 1 through 5 or 5 through 9. These can be any sort of thing, but these have to be 1 through 5 or 5 through 9 in columns 3 and 7 specifically. Okay. We do know this can't be 5 and 1 here, though. We prove this can't be 5 and 9. Pretty convoluted, though, to do that, but... Yeah. I guess it's not that convoluted, right? If you know this has to be 5 through 9, right? So say we just have 5 and 9 here, therefore this is 5 and 9 here. This has to be 6, 7, 8. Since this is 6, 7, 8, that means this has to be 5 through 9 here because it can't be 1 through 5. So we have to have 5 through 9 here. 9 obviously cannot be either here or here. So 9 is in C, D, or E. And then 5 has to be in F, C, or D, right? So we're guaranteed a 5 in one of these. This is 5 through 9. So this is 6, 7, 8, which means this has to be 5 through 9. These are 6, 7, 8. And then we have problematic problems. This is 6, 7, 8. These are 6, 7, 8. This is 6, 7, 8. This is a 6, 7, 8 triplet. They all see this cell. Actually, this must be 6, 7, 8 triplet too. They all see this cell. And there we go. This is a 5, 9 pair, which eliminates 5, 9 in the rest of the region. So this is 6, 7, 8. This is 5 or 9. So the 5 has to be above the 9. So this is 5, that's 9. Which means this is 9. Hold up. Yeah, this is 9 and this is 5. And then we have a contradiction because the 5 does not have a 9 below it and it cannot have a 1 above it because this is a 7th length Renban. So there's a contradiction. Okay, so I guess we can do similar things maybe elsewhere. Okay, so 5 can't be here, 5 can't be here. Oh, that's interesting. So since 5 cannot be here or here, we are guaranteed then, whichever set this is, these have to be the same set. Right? Since 5 cannot be here, 5 cannot be here. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, that's not true. That's not true. The one crossing here does not have to be. Right? Okay. Right. So that's not true. So one of these is 5. We don't know which. Okay. I guess we just try out all the possibilities. It seems kind of lame, but anyways. You cannot have 5 and 9 here. You could have 5 and 1 here, potentially. So what happens if we have 5 and 1? This is... Oh, that's problematic. So this can't be 5. If this is 5, this guarantees you have... This has to be 5, and it has to have a 9 below it, but that's a 3-length rim band. So this cannot be 5. Okay, so that's good. We eliminated that. If this... Okay, so what happens if this is 5 and this is 9? If this is 5 and H is not 1, that means A would have to be 9. This would be 9 here. This would be 5. So then you'd have to have a 9 here, which is possible. This is 7, 8. So it's 7, 8. This has to be 6, 7, 8. So 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8. And one of these would guarantee to be 6. This is 7, 8. Okay, so 9 cannot be any of these. 9 could be here. This can't be 7, 8, or 9, or 5. So C is 6. Cannot be 1. It could be at minimum 3, because this is at minimum 3 through 7. So it's 3, 4, 5. Cannot be 5. It's 3, 4, 6. 7, 8, 7, 8. 5 cannot be any of these three, so 5 has to be here. Cannot have a 9 below it, so it's a 1 above it, and then this is a contradiction. Because 1 can't be in a rem band with 6, 7, or 8 for 3 length. So that's a contradiction. For 5 and 9 here. It could be still 5, 1. What about 5 and 9 here? Maybe... What about 5 and 1? Okay, so right now, the only possibilities are this being 5 and this being 1, this being 5 and that being 9, and this being 5 and that being 1. So it'd be interesting if we have a mix here, if that would work. Anyways, let's try 5 here and 1 here. So this is 5, that's 1. This is 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. This is also 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. So we have the same sort of scenario. This is 2, 3, 4. This is 2 or 3, 2 or 3. This cannot be 2 or 3. Therefore, 4 would have to be here. 4 would have to be here, which means this can't be 4. No 4 here. This is a 2, 3 pair. They both see that one. So neither of these could be 2, 3. So this is 4. And then this would be 4. So then we have a contradiction. Okay. So we know it cannot be 5, 1 that way. So either this is 5, in which case this is 9, or this is 5, in which case this is 1. So this is 1 or 5, this is 5 or 9. That's interesting. So then this becomes, so we have, these are the special 2, 3, 4, or 6, 7, 8s. So we'll make this blue, we'll make this orange, we'll make this pink. So this is orange and blue. This has to be pink. Orange and blue. So this is either HG or pink. So let's make this, I don't know. We'll make this green and red here. That matches green and red here. So this must be green, red, or pink to form a 3-length rim band with it. Orange cannot be any of these three. So if this is the same set as this, This, okay, so say this is the same set. This would have to, it sees red, green, pink, and orange. So then this would have to be blue. This sees blue, orange, red, green. So this would have to be pink. This sees blue, pink, orange, and red. So that would be green. And then we have red and orange remaining. This can't be orange, so this would be red. Therefore, this would be orange. So then we have green and red here. So this couldn't be green and red. That would be pink. So this is assuming these are the same, right? It has to have 5 and 1, or 5 through 1, or 5 through 9 here. Um. Okay. So this would be the 6, 7, 8 triplet here. That's interesting. So we would guarantee a pink here. This is green. So that would be green to match this. This is red. This is orange. So we have green, which could be, and we need a pink. Pink cannot be here, so pink has to be here. Okay. This set of 7 must contain the full colors. And is that possible is kind of the question. This set of 7 must contain the full colors. And this cannot be blue. This can't be blue. So blue is one of these two. This does not have to contain the full set. This. So we have green here. This cannot be red. So this has to be the opposite, which is 4 or 6 here. So therefore, red would not be because it cannot be the full set here. So red cannot be 5. Red would have to be 9. So red would be 9. Green would be 5. This would have to be 4 through 8. So this would be 4. This would be 9. So this would be 7, 8, 7, 8. This cannot be pink. It cannot be orange. So this must be blue. So that would be blue here. Okay, so this is 7, 8, 7, 8, which means pink is 6. So these would be 6. Okay, so far it's okay. Blue's 7, 8. Orange is 7, 8. F is the same. Oh, so that's 6. This is pink also. So that's 6. We need a 7, 8 pair. Orange and blue cannot be here. So orange is one of these two. And then blue has to be one of these two. So this cannot be 4 or 5 or 6, 7, 8. So this is 3. Blue cannot be here. Blue cannot be here. Therefore, this must be blue here. We need a 5. 5 can't be any of these. It has to be here. So this is a 5, which needs a 1 above it. So that's fine. This is 7, 8. So this is 4, and we have a contradiction. That was a long way to get the contradiction. So, we know F, C, D, E cannot be the same set. So they have to be the opposite set. So 5 cannot be here because it's touching one of these two. And one of these is guaranteed to be 5. So 5 has to be one of these 4. Uh, so these are so we either have red or green here. Obviously, this can't be red or green. None of these could be red. So red could be one of those two, and green could be one of those four. Um, Green cannot be here either. So this is not red or green. So F has to be not red or green. If C, so if C were green, that means this would be 5 and 9. So 5 would have to have a 1 above it here because it could not have a 9 below it because we've proven this can't be the same set as these. So it would have to be 5 here and 1 here. But then we have in column 6, 5 here and 1 here, and this cannot be 5 and 9 here because of the way that this set works. So this cannot be green. So this has to be green or red here. Interesting. Okay. Um, so D and E. Okay. D and E cannot work as a 5-1 or a 5-9 pair because this would be 1-5, which does not form a 3-length rem band, or 5-9, which does not form a 3-length rem band. So it cannot be D and E as a pair for 1-5 and 5-9. But we know the 5 has to be one of these two. So it must be C, D is 5 and C is 1. And if that's the case, that means this is 5 and 9. So green is... So this has to be green, which means this can't be green or red. And it's the 5. This can't be green. This could be red, though. We don't know what that is. It's either 5. So this has to be 5 here. This is 5. This is then 9. This is a 6, 7, 8 triplet. D is 5 also. So this is 5, and C is 1. So this is 1 here. Actually, let's make that light. This will make yellow. So this is yellow. And these will make medium and dark. So this will be medium and dark. So this is 2, 3, 4. We have 2, 3, and 4. 2, 3, 4. This is 6, 7, 8. 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4. This can't be 5. So this is either red or pink. We're not sure which. Okay, this has to be 2 through 7 here. This is 2, 3, or 4. This yellow cannot be 2, so this is a 3, 4 pair here. That's a problem. We have a problem here because then this has to be 1 through 5, and then this is 6, 7, or 8. Okay, so there's something wrong in my logic there. Uh, uh, Again, this cannot be red or green. Is this wrong? I'm pretty sure I disproved that, right? No 5, 9, no 1, 5 here. Because then this is a 3-length rim band. We tried 5 and 1 here, and that didn't seem to work. 1 and 5. Why didn't that? This has to be 9. That's the reason why. Because it doesn't have a 3, 9, 1 above it. It does not have a 9 below it. Then that doesn't work. So that's why that doesn't work. We proved this doesn't work as 5 and 9. So 5 and 9 makes that 5 and 9. This is 6, 7, 8. 6, 7, 8. Right, so the problem is this becomes 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8. And this must be 5 through 9 for the same reasoning. And the problem is you have 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8. These are 6, 7, 8. This is 6, 7, 8. So this must be blue. This can't be red or green. So this would have to be 5, I believe, which means that 9 is below it. So this would be 6, 7, 8 here. This is 5, so it has to have 5 and 9 below it. These are again 6, 7, 8. This can't be red. This has to be orange. This can't be orange. It has to be red. So this can't be blue. Neither of these could be blue, but this has to be a 6, 7, 8 pair. Right? Oh, wait, no, we have 5 and 9, and this has to be 9, and that's a contradiction. There we go. Right. That's why this can't be 5 and 9 here. We tried 5 and 1 here. Therefore, this is 5, that's 1. This cannot have a 5 above it, so it has to be 9 below it, but we can't have a 9 below it because it's the same digit. So, we've disproved this being 5 and 1. This can't be 5 and 9 for the same reasoning. If this is 5 and 1, that forces this to be 5, but then it must have a 9 below it, and then we have 1, 5, 9 as a red band, which is not possible for 5 length. So again, 5 can't be here. No 5, 1. Because 1, 5, and X does not form a Ren band. Cannot be 5, 9 for the same reasoning. If this is 5, 1, this becomes 5, but it needs a 9 below it, and that doesn't work. So 5 cannot be either of these. If we have 5 here and this being 9, we show that that doesn't work. So no 5 here, no 1 here. No 5 here, no 9 here. No 5 here, no 1 here. Because that would have to have a 9 here to work. We just tried 5 and 9 here. That forces this to be 5 and 9. So then this becomes 6, 7, 8. 6, 7, 8. This has to be 5 through 9 here to work. And then the coloring just doesn't work here, right? So this is 6, 7, 8. This sees both red and orange. Therefore, this would be blue. This sees both blue and red. So this would be orange, which would make this red. This can't be blue, orange, or red, or green. So since this is 5 and that's 9, this would have to be a 5, and it has to have a 9 below it because it can't have a 1 above it. So this would be 9, and then this would this would be 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8. So this would be 9, but that would be 5 and 9, 5 and 9. The 5 would not have a 9 below it, and it cannot have a 1 above it because it's a 7-length rim band. So that's why this can't be 5 and 9 here. So again, we tried 5, 9 here. We have not tried 5, 1 yet. Well, we did. 5, 9 or 5, 1. We've tried 5, 9 here. Have we tried that? Oh, maybe that's the maybe there is what we missed. Maybe we missed that. I'm pretty sure we tested that. This can't be 5, 1. This can't be 5, 9. This can't be 5, 1. So, yeah. So, let's try 5 and 1 here. So 5, 1, which makes this 1 and 5. This is red and red. And that forces this to be orange. So this is 2, 3, 4. This is 2, 3, 4, which forces a 1, 5 combination. And we have the same thing. 5 can't be here. 5 can't be here. This has to be 1. And this must be 5, which forces this to be 1 and 5. And then D cannot be 9 because it's here. So that's a contradiction there. What about 5 here and 9 here? Did we test that? I thought we did, but maybe we didn't. So 5 here and 9 here. This can't be 1. Let's remove the coloring there. So 5 here and 9 here. So that makes this 9. This has to be 7 and 8. This would be 7 and 8. 7 and 8. 7 and 8. One of these is 6. This is 5. You cannot have 6, 7, 8 above it, so this must be 9 below. This has to be 7 or 8. 9 cannot be any of these. E could technically be 9. This is 6, 7, or 8. 5 cannot be either of these. So if 5 is here, that would force this to be 9, which we can't have. And it can't be 5 here anyway. So 5 cannot be any of these. So 5 could have a 9 here, or 5 could have a 1 above it. You cannot have 5 and 9 here, because then this becomes 5 and 9 as a pair. So 5 can't be here. 5 has to be one of these. And 5... I think this might be the solution, though. If this is 5 and this is 9, that doesn't work because this becomes 5, 9 and is not a 3-length Ren band. So this cannot be 5. Therefore, this must be 5. This must be 1 above it. So that's 1 and... Oh, you have a problem. 1 and 5. That can't be that way. So this has to be 5. Apologies. That's 5. This is 1. So you have 5 and 1 there. This is 3 or 4 to be on a 4-length Ren band. And then you have 1 with 7 or 8, which is a contradiction. So that's a contradiction also. So this is still proven then, right? This has to be 1, 5 and 5, 9. This cannot be green or red. So we're trying to assume that this was the same, right? Okay. C and F cannot be the interaction, because if C and F are the interaction, they're not going to be above each other, right? And then you need another one to satisfy the Dutch flatmates. This cannot be the interaction either. So say that F is 5. That would force this to be 5 and... Okay, so if F is 5, that forces this to be 9 and 5. Obviously, 9 cannot be below, so this must be 1. So this would be 5. This would be 9. 9 could not be above it or below it, so it needs a 1 above it, and then you'd have 5, 9, and 1. This can't be 5. F cannot be 5. 5 cannot be here, because then this forces this... well, can it? 5 and 9. This is 9. This is obviously then 5 and 1. 5, 1. 2, 3, 4. Oh, yeah, 5 touching itself. Yeah. So 5 is guaranteed to be one of these two. 5 cannot be here. 5 cannot be here. So 5 has to be one of those 3. Well, it cannot be D and E as interaction. So it has to be... It cannot be C and F as an interaction, because it's 1 and 5 or 5 and 9. Either way, you cannot have the one above it also in the same situation. So it has to be C and D as the same interaction. So then this is 1 or 5, and this is 5 or 9 here. But they're different ones. So these have to be different ones. One of these is the same as this. So if this is 5, 1, this would have to be 5, 9, which is not possible. So then this must be 1. Again, this is 1, this is 1, that's 5, 5. So that's 5, 9, 5, 9. But then this is 6, 7, 8, and we have a contradiction. What am I missing? Oh, this sucks. I'm running to everything is a contradiction. That's not good. Maybe we start with this. I don't know. This has the most information though. That's why I'm using that. If we try to go this way, I don't know if that will work. Yeah, it's problematic. Okay, so where is the 5 here? Again, D and E is problematic. So it can't be 5, 1 or 5, 9, because then this becomes a 3-length Ren band with 1, 5 or 5, 9, which is not possible. We've proven, I think, that these cannot be the same as these set. Right? Let's just go through that again, just to prove. Green, green, red, red. This is orange, orange, blue, blue. Right? So this sees orange, red, green, and pink. So that would be blue if these are the same set. This sees green, red, blue, and orange. So this is pink. This sees blue, red, pink, and orange. So this is green. This would then have, so this would have to be green. This is red or orange, but it can't be orange. So this is red, which makes this orange. So then we have red here and orange here. Um, this is red and orange. Green cannot be here. This can't be orange or red. We need blue somewhere in row 4. This is red and orange. This cannot be red or orange. Okay, yeah, we have orange and blue here. It cannot, it could be pink, right? But we don't know. And again, we have the problem of 5 cannot be here because of the way that it works with 9, right? 5 and 9 forces this to be 9, so then this becomes 6, 7, 8. So we have to have 5, 9 here. So that's 5, this is 9. So again, 5 and 9, 5 and 9. This becomes 9, and this is 5. But we need a 5 somewhere here, and you can't have a 1 above it. So that's problematic. This is pink. This can't be red, and this can't be red. So as a Renban, that means this has to be the 9. And this has to be 5, 9, 5, 5, 9. This is 5. It has to have 9 below it. This cannot be 9 either. So we know 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8. This can't be 5 or 9, so it has to be the other 6, 7, 8, which is pink. 6, 7, 8. Oops. We need to have orange and blue here. This is 7 or 8, so orange is 7 or 8 here. This is blue or it's pink. We're not sure which. We need an orange in column 3 somewhere. Neither of these could be 9, so we're guaranteed a 4 here. This is 7 or 8. This can't be 6, 7, or 8 here. It's 3 or 4. Maybe, maybe this was... Okay, so... Well, we tried both ways, and it didn't work the other way either, so maybe this is the actual solution. Hold up. 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. This cannot... This could be 3. This is 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Cannot be 9. Okay. This is 3 or 4. This can't be 7 or 8. Yeah, E sees all of these, so this can't be 7 or 8 here. Therefore, B has to be 7 or 8. J is 6. Because this cell sees all of these, and it has to be, then it has to match that. Yeah. Maybe I just messed up earlier. I don't know. 6. So 6 cannot be here. 6 can't be here. 6 obviously can't be there. Yeah, maybe I just messed up earlier. I don't know. This is looking like it works. Okay. Orange cannot be either of these two. Where's 6? 6 can't be here. 6 can't be here or here, so this is 6. So this must be 4, which means this can't be 4. That's 3. So none of these are 3. Ah. I don't know how I messed it up. I guess I messed it up previously. Huh. We kept on running into contradictions, but I guess this one doesn't. This is 4, 7, 8, which eliminates 4, 7, 8 here. So it's 3, that's 3. This is 4, 7, or 8. 4, 7, 8 here. This is 4, 7, or 8. Cannot be 4, so this is 7 or 8. Which means this must be blue. So this is 4, which means none of these could be 4. This can't be blue 7 or 8, so this is orange. This must be blue here. To be that 7 or 8. This can't be blue 7. Oh, no, we have a contradiction. Because where's the other blue 7 or 8, which has to be here? It's... I don't know what's going on. What am I doing wrong here? Jeez. I feel like I'm so close, but it just keep running. I keep running into contradictions. Okay. Blue, blue, orange, orange. I think it's pink here. No, I think it was red and green. I don't remember. And then this was pink. Okay. Again, A and B cannot be any kind of 5-1, 5-9 pair, because then this would be 1-5 or 5-9 on a 3-length rim band. If we have A and G here, the problem is, yeah, so 5 cannot be... If we have A and G here, that means A being 5. So A can never be 5. B can never be 5. Because if B's 5, A's 1. So B can never be 5, guaranteed. We need a 5 in column 7. We need a 5 in column 3, because it's a 5-length Ren band. And you have to have be 1 through 5 or 5 through 9, because you have to have a 1 above it or 9 below it. If B is a 5, it needs a 1 above it. So A would be 1, and then you'd have 1, 5 for a 3-length Ren band, which is not possible. So B cannot be 5. A cannot be 5, because if A is a 5, this is 5, and B has to be 9 below it to form a 3, but it cannot because it can't form a 3-length Ren band. So this can never be 5 and 1. It has to be 2, 3, 4, or 6, 7, 8 here, guaranteed. Because again, if you had a 5 here, that forces this to be 9. If you have a 5 here, you have to have a 1 above it, and 5, 1 does not form a 3-length rain band. So 5, anytime you have, this cannot be 5. We know it's 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8 here. Pink, can pink be 5? If pink is 5, H is 9. So let's just go through that. 5 and 9. And 5 and 9. 9's not there. 9 is here. This cannot have a 5. And we know column 4 has a 5 also. But it can't have a 1 above it because we have a 9 in that column. So no, 5 cannot be here either. So this is 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. These are guaranteed to be 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. This has to be, again, 1. So we've proven this. We've proven this. This cannot be 5. None of these two can be 5. One of these has to be a 5. So either it's 1 above and 5 below, or 5 above and 9 below. That has to be the case. Okay. Right. So, this 7th length Renban has to be the same set as this set here. Guaranteed. So we need an orange, a pink, and a blue. Pink cannot be here. So pink is one of these 4. Blue cannot be here or here. So blue could be... Oh, that's interesting. Okay. So this has to be a 3-length Renban with pink being here. You have to either be, it's either pink, orange, or blue. So this is pink, orange, or blue. Or we need green or red here with this digit, and then we could have a different set. So this is guaranteed to be either green, red, orange, or pink. Sorry, it can't be pink. Green, red, orange, or blue. So it has to match one of these 4 because it's consecutive. These are the outer edges of this set. So this has to be inside that. These are the outer edges here. Pink, again, cannot be here. Pink has to be one of these. Orange. So again, if we force this... So we're guaranteed a 5 here. And we're guaranteed a 5 here. So that means this cannot be 5. This can't be 5 because it sees both of the 5s. So 5 has to be one of these 3. C, D, or E. And it cannot be a combination. So if this is 5, that means D has to be 1. And then that doesn't work. So this cannot be 5. If 5 is 9... Sorry. If 5 is here and then this is 9, guaranteed, that doesn't work because this is a 5-9 pair. So this must be a 5... One of these two is 5. And it's either 5 and 1... or this is 5 and 1. But if this is 5 and 1, this becomes 5 and 1 here. Right? So this is 5 and 1 here, then this cannot be 5 and 9 because it's a 7-length Renban. So it cannot be 5 and 1. This has to be 5 and whatever. This can't be red. Therefore, it has to be green here, which forces this to be... Oh, that's not true necessarily. If they're the same, obviously this is green and red. So can that be possible? So if they're the same, this can't be red, and then this has to be green. This is red, so this would be green and red. This would have to be the same 5-length Ren band. This can't be pink, red, orange, or green, so this is blue. This can't be blue, so this is pink, which forces this to be pink. This has to be orange then. This is blue and orange in the middle, cannot be green or red. Therefore, it has to have something else, so this is pink guaranteed. This can't be red, and this can't be red. So this has to be... If we try to make this 1 and 5, that doesn't work. So this can't be red because of that red. This can't be red because of that red. So this has to be 5 and 9. So we know that this is 5 and 9, 5 and 9. 9 is here then. This is 5. This is orange, and it has to be 7 or 8. This has to be 7 or 8 also. To be in a 3-length Ren band with 9. This cell sees all of these cells, and we are, well, yes, this has to be 6, 7, or 8. This doesn't have to be there. Oh, maybe that's the contradiction. Okay. Maybe that's where I'm running into problems. Okay, so say... These are opposites. So this is not 5 and 9. So say this is not the same as 5 through 9 here. Or whatever set this is. So if they're the same, it has to be 5 and 9. Why is that? Yeah, why is that? Could it be 5 and 1? Why is that? 5 and 1. Oh, maybe it could be 5 and 1. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Let's assume the opposite right now, because I think that leads to a contradiction. This cannot be the opposite one. Well, we know it has to be this set, right? Oh, this has red and green. Oh, that's interesting. This has red and green. This has red and green. So that we guarantee there has to be a blue, orange, and pink here. Pink, we're guaranteed that in this set. So, well, actually, there you go. So, yeah, okay. That's where we run in. That's where we find this out. In row 4, you have a red and a green. Therefore, you have to have orange, blue, and pink there also. Pink cannot be either of these sets. Cannot be here because it's bordering these cells, and this cell is pink. So pink has to be this cell here. So this is pink, which means this is pink. Since this is pink, to form a 1 through 5 or 5 through 9, you have to have exactly the same set here. So this has to be exactly the same set. Obviously, this can't be green or red. This can't be green or red because then that would force this to be essentially that problem. So this is guaranteed to be red. This is guaranteed to be green. So we know this for certain. This is green and this is red. Okay. This has to be blue or orange, cannot be orange, so this is blue. That forces this to be orange. Blue and orange are in between. They cannot, therefore they have to have one of green, pink, or red here to form a 3-length ren band, right? Because they're in between the green and the red. So this cannot be green or red, therefore this is pink also. So we have red, green here. We need a blue and an orange here. Blue cannot be here, blue cannot be here, so blue is one of these two cells. Orange also has to be somewhere along here because this is red and green guaranteed. Red cannot be either of these. So since red cannot be either of these, oh, that does force it to be 5 and 9. Dang. Okay. So that does force this to be 5 and 9 because red cannot be either of these. There has to be a 5 here. Well, if it can't be red, then green has to be the 5. So green is 5, red is 9. So we're running into this thing again. So these have to be 6, 7, and 8. E is 7 or 8. So that matches here. So this is orange. This is 7 or 8. And this is 7 or 8 also. But it does not have to match this. Right? It just means this cannot be 7 or 8. These can't be red either. Okay, that's interesting. So this is 6, 7, or 8. 6, 7, or 8. Yellow, orange cannot be here. Orange has to be one of these 3. So then this has to be 3 or 4. To be on the 7-length ren band here. So we have 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8. This is not 6. This is 6, 7, 8. This can't be 6, 7, or 8, or 5 or 9. So this is 1 through 4. This can't be 7 or 8. So this is 1 through 6. Cannot be 5 because a 5 cannot have. This can't be 5 either. Where's 5 in column 5? Cannot be here because it can't have a 9 below it or 1 above it. This is filled in. These are filled digits. No 5, no 5, no 5, no 5. So this has to be 5. So this either has a 1 above it or a 9 below it. We're not sure which. So this is 5 and 9. This is green. This cannot be red or green. This can't be red or green. So this must be a blue-orange pair to form a ren band. Because otherwise it has to get outside red or green to be another set. So this is orange, which means this can't be orange. This is blue, so this can't be blue here. Orange cannot be here, so this is orange. This can't be red, so this has to be 4. And this is 7 or 8. None of these could be 4. So since this is 4, this has to be 4 also. None of these could be 4, so 4 has to be here. 9 cannot be either of these, so 4 can't be here, so 4 has to be here. This obviously is not a 4. Blue cannot be either of these, so blue has to be here. So this is blue, this is orange. This must be pink. And this must be a 3. So pinks are 7, and 8. That forces blue to be 6. Therefore, this is 3. This has to be 3 because it cannot be 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8, or 9. And to be a rim band, it has to be 3. So this is 3. That forces orange to be 7, pinks to be 8. This can't be 3 again. This can't be 3. This 5 needs a 1 above it. So that's 1, which means this can't be 1 or 1 here. This has to be 2, 3, 4 to form a rim band. So that's 2, which makes this 4. That makes that 7. This has to be... I just must have messed up over and over again. Then this has to be 6. That forces this to be 2. And this is a 9. How did I mess that up over and over again? I don't know how I kept on messing this up. It's just... I don't know. It was very weird. Maybe it's just because my intuitions for tessellations aren't there, but this should have been over much quicker. The first assumption obviously was really bad, where I assumed 5 had to be one of these two when it didn't have to be. But I just kept on, I don't know, I kept on making some bad assumption here, which kept on messing me up. I don't understand why. I kept on doing that. Once I got that the red and the green had to be essentially form a set, then that made things a little clearer. And maybe I was just making some really bad assumptions here, but I don't know. Huh. That was weird. I kept on basically making the same mistakes or whatever, running into problems. That was, yeah, kind of crazy. I think it was that it was that I assumed this had to be blue when it didn't have to be. I think that was the bad assumption there. Yeah, I think that was it. It was, huh. Yeah, that's a pretty bad mistake. Hmm. Yeah, that's a pretty bad assumption to make. I guess I should have been able to spot that quicker, but anyways. Well, I hope you enjoyed my struggling through this. This is basically about challenging level, assuming you just don't make the same bad assumptions I did. But pretty cool, actually. Very nice. It's very well done. A lot of these are very interesting intuitions you'll eventually get, which is very cool. Yeah, I mean, just pretty cool in general. Very nice. Just pretty well constructed tessellation, I would say. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this solve, despite my bad assumptions in it. And I'll see you next time on Frank Puzzles. Take care.